Welcome back to my crypto challenge to turn $500 into $50,000 within a year. In my first month, my capital grew to $976, and after a second month, I was up to $2,215 for a total return of 343%. However, in December, my capital shrunk 40% down to $1,317. Meanwhile, January also experienced a large collapse, and I took the opportunity to add an extra $500 of fresh capital to prevent liquidation, but also to buy more Bitcoin when the price was low at $96,478. My current capital as of February 3rd, 2025, is at $2,363, which is a 136% ROI from the $1,000 invested for an average rate of return of 35% per month, which is below my target of 50% per month. In order to get to $50,000 after a year, I need to generate average returns of 50% per month. I am therefore behind to achieve my goal. I expect a Solana ETF to be approved very soon, which I believe will help me get back on track with my goal. In this video, I will talk about the current market conditions and what to expect next. Also, stay tuned for a discussion on the impact of artificial intelligence on solopreneurs. First, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm just documenting how I'm doing it as inspiration, but make no mistakes, there is a high probability I may lose my investment. Here's a breakdown of my capital as of February 3rd, 2024, and the debt currently incurred. Please join my free Telegram group and follow my X account to stay up to date with time-sensitive trades on this account. The details are in the description of this video. The U.S. trade war. It's been 3 weeks since President Donald Trump took office, and many expected the market to surge as he was rumored to sign an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. However, the process is taking longer than anticipated. The delay is largely due to Trump's ongoing priorities to renegotiate trade deals with other countries, which is currently creating unfavorable market conditions for risk assets. Once these negotiations are complete, we can anticipate a shift in economic policy, including quantitative easing, a devaluation of the US dollar to boost exports, and lower interest rates. These changes are likely to significantly boost the value of risk assets. Strategic Bitcoin reserve progress. There are now 20 US states that have submitted bills to add Bitcoin as a strategic reserve at the states level, and news of the Federal Reserve is likely to start shortly. There are many dominoes that need to fall before everything is implemented, but I would expect some constant progress in that regard over the next few months. Regardless, MicroStrategy had shareholder approval to issue an additional 10 billion shares from their existing 330 million share pool, which essentially enabled them to buy as much Bitcoin as they want for the next decade. For this reason, we currently don't see large collapses of Bitcoin, which historically speaking was sometimes above 30% even during a bull market. Now, these massive market collapses appear to be restricted to non-Bitcoin assets. For the time being, remaining mostly allocated to Bitcoin and Solana appear to be a wise choice. We may not see a bear market for these assets for a long time, maybe entirely bypassing the typical 4-year cycle. Upcoming strategy change. On the next leg up, I expect my net capital to grow to about $5,000, at which point I plan on implementing a grid strategy to accumulate more Bitcoin and Solana. Please join my Telegram to stay up to date once I make the switch. The reason for implementing such a strategy with low leverage and tight range is that I can generate yield on my assets based on the volatility as opposed to relying only on capital gains from price appreciation. However, there is a minimum capital allocation required to activate the grid bots on Binance. AI is a solopreneur's dream come true. Over the past few months, I've replaced my entire development team with AI tools. As I've become more proficient in using these tools, I've realized that solopreneurs have a huge opportunity to optimize their businesses without hiring employees. In fact, companies with large workforces often have financial incentives that encourage hiring more staff than needed, making them less efficient and less competitive. This shift also means that trading time and skills for a salary will become obsolete. Instead, income will increasingly come from letting money and assets generate income for you. This video series aims to equip viewers with the knowledge to make their money work for them. Those who quickly adapt to running zero-employee businesses and investing their income will thrive, while others are likely to join the ranks of human obsolescence. This trend will also impact migration patterns. With the ability to work remotely and manage finances online, people may choose to live in more affordable locations rather than expensive cities. This could be a factor behind some of the current administration's policies, such as purging the U.S. of illegal immigrants and promoting cryptocurrency adoption. As more people become jobless due to automation, taxing a non-existent workforce becomes irrelevant. Governments might consider reducing income tax to zero and generating revenue from imported goods and services instead. If governments tax solo entrepreneurs' businesses, they may simply relocate to countries with more favorable tax environments, leading to a loss of capital. In conclusion, with a 136% return in my first 4 months, I am behind on my goal of an average 50% return per month. This capital will serve as a minimum viable treasury to start my next business. I am currently expecting massive growth until mid-April to mid-May of 2025, at which point I plan on removing most of my leverage to reduce the risk of a potential downturn for the summer months. Advancements in artificial intelligence are incredibly fast and are likely to eliminate salaried positions in the next decade, and focusing on letting your money or assets work for your income is likely to become the only real source of income for most. It is absolutely critical to invest the time to learn how to do it. The opportunities available for zero-employee businesses are the best it's ever been. The future is aligned to solopreneurs. If you enjoy this video, feel free to comment below and request specific content or clarification. Otherwise, stay tuned for the next video.